How you doing? This is George Senda, the guy from Pittsburgh. Well, they finally did it. The Republicans managed to overturn Obamacare in a 52-47 vote. Of course, the Democrats will immediately tackle this issue, and Obama will probably veto it. And I like two features of Obamacare. I'm opposed to the rest of it. The bill that nobody read before they voted on it. 1,600 pages, death panels, all kinds of stuff. I think it's right to allow people with pre-existing conditions get insurance, and having your children, I don't know about up to the age of 26, if always puzzled me, the kids gonna be in the cellar. Because they can't find a job in this economy. That's still bad. But Obama said you can keep your health plan if you like your health plan. That didn't happen. You can keep your doctor if you like your doctor. That didn't happen. You're going to get $3,000 refund on this insurance, and instead of insurance premiums climbed up $6,000 or more to some people, and some people, of course, have lost what they call their Cadillac health plan from their employer, or can't get health insurance at all, or don't have it now because they can't afford it. The affordable health plan wasn't affordable. It was a lie and a scam, and we had the chief of the Supreme Court that voted for this sham, the tax that wasn't a tax. So the Supreme Court said Obamacare okay. Now what's a pity is we don't have a federal referendum where the people can vote on this, because the majority of the people are against Obamacare, just like the majority of people don't feel that terrorism was workplace violence. And 57% of the people said it isn't workplace violence in a poll recently. And a lot of those guys are packing guns. And we have a president who thinks that Charlie Brown's Christmas tree is more important than terrorism. And terrorism leads to global warming. And then I have a friend who says that Obama knows more about the Constitution than most people. Yeah, he knows how to ignore it. Knows how to sign illegal executive orders, bypassing the will of the people in Congress and bypassing the constitutional provision that the House funds all bills and funds all money for the government. And the Senate decides what treaties get passed and what don't. So he picks and chooses the stuff that he likes in the Constitution and throws out the rest of it. It'll be great fun to see the Democrats cringe and see what happens until Obama vetoes it. They'll probably veto it right away. He's probably got his pen racing across the paper, making sure it works as I speak. Scrap the damn thing. Keep the two provisions people really like, because nobody in this country should not get health care for pre-existing conditions. I don't give a damn what they are. Insurance companies in this country make millions, billions. Yet they deny coverage for medication people need and can't get. I've had it happen, other people had it happen. Then your doctor has to go in and say, my patient needs this. And in some cases, a patient could die for lack of the medication. They won't prove it could cost too much. I have an eye medication. I have allergies, and I have an eye medication that they denied. I use a substitute, doesn't work as well. It's $300 for this little bottle. Here it is. Patinol. $300. First thing I heard when I got told it was $300. What's in here, gold? And this bottle is like, let's see if I can read this. Hold on. 1 milligram, little teensy bottle. You get, I don't know, 40 or 50 drops out of it. Now this goes off patent this month, and we might get a generic version. Of course, generics never seem to work as good as the real stuff. But I've already been told by one pharmacist it probably won't. The price won't go down. What about that pill for a disease at $7,000 now when it was 50 cents? The company promised to lower it, then they jacked it back up again. This is why our healthcare system is so screwed up. It's greed, incompetence, people opening up clinics with phony doctors to get phony Medicare payments. One guy on 60 Minutes ripped Medicare off for $20 million, didn't even go to jail, paid part of it back, and that was it. So, yeah, a date that will live in infamy. That was Obamacare. And let me put this on the screen so you can see it. This president also thinks that terrorism is due to global warming, which is also ridiculous. So anyway, that's what I got to say about this. I hope the Republicans can overturn this if Obama vetoes it and they scrap it and start over with a better health care bill. And there's one other thing. I had somebody comment on a channel the other night. Their comment was an insult that Trump will overturn Social Security if he gets in. Every Republican candidate for president since Barry Goldwater has been accused of it. It's Ronald Reagan, Barry Goldwater, Richard Nixon. And, still got Social Security. I did think it's a bit strange this week to, the day before the shooting, to see this. Now, this is a newspaper tabloid, but the tabloid, let's see if I can find it. On Monday, had this headline: Nixon ordered JFK murder. Now, I wasn't about to pay $5 for a copy of the Globe, but it is most curious. The day before a mass shooting, Nixon ordered JFK murdered. Go figure that one out, folks. All right. I'll be back in a few minutes after I take a break with another video. But our priorities are screwed up in this country. We have a president and Hillary Clinton who rail about guns. It's not the guns. You could kill multiple people with a crossbow, a baseball bat, your car. People walking along the sidewalk would kill when somebody goes out of control. They're drunk, they have a seizure, they hit the gas instead of the brake. We're going to ban cars. Nobody's calling for that. It's the mind. It's the heart. Heart's actually over here, I think. Heart of the people involved. And their motivations, which they're all talking about in the news. What were the motivations of these two killers in San Bernardino? It's also a fact that they talked on Fox last night that these two people were looking for soft targets. You know what that means? You put soft targets are. You put a target on yourself and you wait to be shot because you're not allowed to carry weapons to defend yourself. And that idiot Geraldo Rivera, you remember him, the guy with Al Capone's empty safe in Capone's former hotel. Still waiting to find what was in that safe. He said the Second Amendment is stupid and blames it all on the NRA and the climate of fear and the climate of gun violence. Well, the NRA is about 100 years old. But the NRA was not around when the Constitution was written or the Bill of Rights. And if it were for people like Obama and Hillary Clinton and Eric Holder and Geraldo Rivera, we'd have no gun rights. There would have been a revolution. They would have taken away all the guns. We've been able to fight against the British. That's why the Founding Fathers said you have to have the right to own a weapon and have a militia. Because ultimately the government may have to be overthrown. And in Texas, they're putting an initiative on to secede from the Union. Now, I don't know if that will be declared unconstitutional by the courts or not. But Texans have always declared in their Constitution, they have a clause that gives them the right to secede from the Union at any time because that's what they put in when they made the deal to go back into the Union. But we've seen what happens when governments take away the guns. Soviet Union, Nazi Germany, I'm sure the Chinese are not allowed to have guns. They're not going to overthrow their communist masters, the work camp workers, the guys who made the Apple cables with a rubber phrase. I'll show you something. Here's the other Apple cable. Wires are frayed. I've had to put that together with surgical tape. So that's another cable that's going to go under real soon. And they won't be able to charge this thing at all. But those slave workers, the ones that jump off the top tier at the Apple factory because they can't take the overwork and the conditions, they're building they're building perfectly good cables with bad rubber on them. And that's a crime too. This is probably a $2 cable that Apple charges $20. I looked at the mini adapter, HDMI adapter that Apple had for Apple, and it was something like $40 or $50 because it had the word Apple on it. Now eventually you'll see another monitor back here one day. There'll be a laptop. It will be a PC laptop, or there'll be a PC monitor with a laptop attached to it. I got nothing against the PC. I do have something against crappy Windows systems that don't work right, like Windows ME, Windows 8, and now Windows 10, where they spy on what you're doing, and then they tell you they're going to remove it, and then they put it back on again under another name. Microsoft does bad things too, not just Apple. Anyway, that's what I got to say. We need to fix things that are bad and not mess with things that are not broken in this country. The healthcare system has its flaws, but doesn't it be overhauled, and overhauled so badly that people can't get healthcare? And that's what Obamacare is. All right. Oh yeah, wait a minute. One more thing. Open Lines Jerry, for which I thank. Oh, by the way, you can also go to the my crowdfunding page on Open Lines Jerry on Twitter and donate to my channel, donate to my PayPal account. I picked the Lions tonight, and I'm going to have to go back and check, but I think literally every time I've taken a chance and picked the Lions this year, they've lost. They blew a 20-point lead tonight, for God's sakes. And they were kicking Green Bay's ass. They were intercepting balls like crazy. So I'm done with the Lions. Or the mangy Lions bit me in the ass again. You can't miss my ass. It's kind of big, but you know, how many times can these guys lose? When they're supposed to lose, they win. When they're supposed to win, they lose. It drives you nuts trying to pick these games like this. And I don't remember right now what Jerry picked. I think he picked the Packers, but I'm hold on. Let me see if I can find out. Bear with me for a minute. Oh, here's the thing. I just posted my post, Terrifying Global Warming Workplace Violence, because Greg Gutfeld of the Five said that we blame, global warming we blame for this attack in Santa Barbara. And Larry Bailey, hello Larry, commented, it is definitely a radical terrorist attack. Well, of course it is. Let's see. Okay. Here's Jerry. I picked the Lions to beat Green Bay. And Green Bay was favored by 2.5. He said, I think Detroit has beaten them 3 out of the last 4, including a couple weeks ago at Green Bay. 8 of the 13 analysts, ESPN analysts, put pick and pick. That means, Jerry, they get together and way, you know, for the guys at Waffle, they give you a pick 'em and they say, well, what do you think on the wild card choice? Pick Green Bay to win. So Jerry, maybe you ought to listen to ESPN more. I don't I can't listen to you, Span, unless I listen on the radio. I got one other question I don't get. I got an iPad. I got two of them. I can't find the other one. And here's a stupid iHeartRadio, which is great to listen to George Norrie. I mean, I got KFBK in here. And every night, 10 o'clock, when I want to listen to Norrie, I can listen to Norrie. And I can listen to Art Bell on this. But you know what? I'm 3,000 miles away from the Iron City. And every time I go to this stupid application, I get a message. Due to circumstances beyond our control, you cannot listen to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, who the hell is doing this? I can listen to the Seattle ESPN channel. I don't remember if they were going to broadcast the game or not, but you can't listen to the game. Who decided this that somebody 1,500 miles away can't listen to any NFL game on his iPad? I guess the NFL wants to gouge every word, every dollar out of it. Here's another thing. This thing, NFL Mobile. I got on here. I signed up for the week's trial. And there's all the games. And I can go down. Let's see, is it there? No, they took it off. It's not there anymore. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, there it is. 27-23 pack. Replay the game. You can watch. There's your Lions, or as I call them now, the Loons. I think somebody else calls them Loons too. Lions Matt Stafford finds Calvin Johnson for 20-yard gain. And Prater good from 51 yards. Longest run of the year, Abdullah. But that's clips. I can't watch a full game. Can't listen to a full game unless I pay $84 a year. Next year I'll have that. I'll have the money. I hope. But why can't you listen to it on radio? I can listen to the Giants on radio. I can listen to the Pirates. Irritates the living hell out of me. Okay. I'll be back in a minute. Time for more coffee. And see what else I can find out there to talk about. Have a great night. Hope you didn't bet on the Lions. And I'll catch you next time. And bye, Jerry. And thanks for all your hard work and effort for me. I appreciate it. And I have to sit down tomorrow to start working on my football picks. Oh, by the way, I got chewed up by Kathy tonight. I told her when she moved out of her apartment in June, tell Social Security you've moved, and they will, they will change your address for you. And if you wind up being truly, truly homeless, they pay you the money that you don't get when you have a place to live because you've got cooking facilities. Now she's mad at me because I never told her that. I became homeless in my car twice. Briefly once in my car and once in my car for 2 years. On and off. They paid me for not having cooking facilities. So she's mad at me. It's all my fault. It's always my fault. I can never win with it all. I played the lotto on Monday. Yeah. $110 million. I hope I win. Then I'll buy her a house. I'll buy the ratty one a new car. Get that piece of junk off the road. The other night, they were driving around, and there was a little hole in one of the windows, and Patty just replaced the window. She had to break her window because she left her car keys in the car and locked the door. And little hole in the window, I figured it was a BB or something. And they're driving around, and suddenly the window shatters. So she had to go to the junkyard. She gets windows for $25. I never got that lucky. Car I got, your window is $300. The side window, the crank. I guess it's cheaper the crank window than one of the power windows. We got power windows in the Prius. But she drives this old Honda. You feel every bump in the road. just killed my butt the only time I rode in it. No, I've ridden it twice, come to think of it. But the roads in Pittsburgh are really crappy. So I'd go buy a new car, buy a hybrid, and take that damn thing and see, sign it over to me and get it crushed. And get that lawn on our lawn, the one that don't work. All right, that's it. I'll be back in a little bit. Have a great night. Enjoy your Thursday night. Enjoy your Friday. And 22 days more till Santa comes around. But the elves might declare that he's been violent too in the workplace, so he may have to watch out for a lawsuit. Oh yeah, the one other thing, they're now eliminating Christmas. They're saying you can't have parties that are disguised as Christmas parties, but are really Christmas parties on campuses. This is how nuts we are. And in the description of my terrorist thing, CBS said a holiday party. CBS News can't use the word Christmas, can't they? Because it might offend somebody. If you're offended by the word Christmas, and you're of another religion, it's time to get over it. This is America. We have freedom of religion. If you don't like it, get back on the plane. Get back on the boat. And when I get paid next month, I'll give you $5 for a Greyhound ticket to Mexico. Then you can make your way back to Libya or Syria on your own. No Christmas. I love Christmas. And I'm Jewish. I love the lights. I love the atmosphere. I love the trees. I love the caroling. And I love that one time out of the year, most people aren't all mad at each other. They're happy. And some of them think about what it means to Christians to be a Christian and what Christmas means. We got Hanukkah. We think about how we fought an oppressor and won. But to be offended by a tree or the Nutcracker on stage, they had a Christmas tree during the Nutcracker on stage, and some guy sued the school district for having a Christmas tree on stage. Get over it, people. If you don't like a Christmas tree or nativity scene, don't go to the place where it is. Ignore it. Let other people have their freedom of religion. Don't be an anti-religious zealot and be a bully. And stop people enjoying this time of year. I figure next we already heard that some Muslims are intimidated and, what's the word I want to use? Oh, offended by displays of the American flag. I figure the next thing they'll object to Veterans Day and the 4th of July because it's offensive to their Sharia law and their beliefs. That's why we have political correctness gone mad in this country. All right, I'm done. Have a good night. Bye-bye.